They'll be partying tonight in Indy as the Pacers have snapped their 2-game losing streak in this series and have forced a decisive Game 7. We didn't know if Tyrese Haliburton would be able to play and how he would be able to perform. But boy, after a rough start to this one, he and the entire squad made Reggie and all of Naptown come alive as the Pacers put on an absolute masterpiece, leading by as many as 31 and beating OKC 108-91 in what will be the final basketball game in Indiana this season. The Pacers will play in Oklahoma City Sunday for a chance at their first ever Larry O'Brien trophy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our live NBA TV coverage at the finals presented by YouTube TV. We got champions on the desk all across the board. The Hall of Famer Isiah Thomas, Steve Smith, Brendan Haywood, who won a championship with Rick Carlisle back in 2011, knows what he's all about. For the 20th time in NBA history and for the first time in 9 years, we will have a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. And B. Wood, this was unbelievable. Awful start by the Pacers, missing their first 8 shots. And then after that, they put it all behind them and just wiped the floor with the Thunder.
Yeah, this was truly impressive. When you look back to what happened in Game 5, and it looked like this was going to be the crowning of OKC. And the way the Pacers came out with the resilience, their best player not being 100%, getting down early in this game and still fighting back and putting on the absolute defensive clinic that they put on. It's a testament to these guys in the locker room, their will, their belief in themselves, and their ability to win. And let's give a big shout out to Rick Carlisle and that coaching staff. The game plan was flawless.
We will hear from McConnell. In fact, he'll join us right here on the set in a couple of moments. We'll go back into the press conferences and hear from both head coaches and the stars. How is OKC planning to bounce back? Remember, they have not lost consecutive games all postseason. They'll try and keep that streak alive to win their first ever title on Sunday. But man, Isiah and Smitty, let's talk about what we saw from this Indiana squad. There must be really, truly something to role players playing better at home, because it just seems in this series they simply do that for the Pacers.
Well, not only do they do that, but they understand their system and how to play within their system. You never see them really go outside of what they trying to accomplish and what they're trying to do offensively. They share the basketball, they move the basketball, they play well together, they understand each other, and you know, they don't necessarily look at themselves as role players, so to speak, because we've seen a number of their role players jump up and score 15, 20, 25 points throughout this playoff series. So, you know, the way their offense is set up, it's an old school offense. It's a passing game type offense, read and react. And, you know, it's really tough to defend when they passing, moving, sharing the basketball like they were doing tonight.
Smitty, not only a win with their backs against the wall for the Pacers, but a double win because Tyrese Haliburton plays, but only had to play 23 minutes, and now we'll have 2 days more rest to get ready for Game 7.
That's a positive for the Pacers. And I go back to just what this team did after we were watching that first quarter defensively. To come out in that second quarter to hold them to 17 points was remarkable to me. I thought Rick Carlisle's defense, the pressure that he put on SGA, who turns it over 8 times. Yes, they scored, but I thought defensively those second and third quarters was really something. I seen the Pacers, a good defensive team, really a good defensive team that take it to the elite level in those 2 quarters.
Yeah, like I said, when I look out there, what they were doing, you talked about SGA turning the ball over 8 times. On top of that, as a team, OKC only had 14 assists. That is strictly what is going on for the Pacers defense. They were loading up on those boxes a little bit. They are mixing up SGA's looks. OKC's really going to have to look at this film and try to give SGA the answers, because we talk about how cool, calm, and collective he is and how he always has the answers to the test. Tonight, he did not have the answers. SGA struggled, and as a result, OKC struggled as a team.
Yeah, shockingly, you know, they have 21 turnovers in a Game 6 as TJ McConnell is on his way over here, you know, and, you know, TJ, you were great tonight as usual. Just, well, we're trying to be like your dad.
Well, TJ McConnell's going to put the headset on as soon as he tells us he could hear us. Can you hear us, TJ?
Yep.
You know, Isaiah, Smitty, Brendan, Jared. So just a couple moments ago, Tyrese Haliburton referred to you as the Great White Hope. You certainly put it all out there tonight. What has gotten into you here in these games, and obviously when your team needs it the most?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, it sounds redundant when I say it, but I'm just trying to do my job. Come in, inject energy, and get our team moving offensively and defensively, and get us out and do what we do best and run.
TJ, you come from a basketball family. Your sister plays. Your dad was, you know, coaching you hard growing up. And it seems like you've been playing this way really like your whole life. And a lot of guys have to get into the NBA, change their game, change their style. But your temperament, your way of playing actually fits this Pacer team and Rick Carlisle. Talk about how convenient and good that's been for you that you found a team that not only accepts your style, but also a fan base that loves you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I obviously got to give my dad credit. You know, he told me I'm not obviously going to be the biggest. I'm not the fastest, but you can outwork people.
Yes.
And that's what I've tried to hang my hat on. And, you know, in terms of coming here, they value me so much, the front office, the coaching staff. I can't put it into words how amazing it's been to play here and these fans. Like I said, I can't put it into words. I love it here. I love these fans. I love this organization.
You should have blamed your dad for why you're not the biggest. It's his fault.
Yeah, I mean, we won't go there, but yeah, it's definitely his fault.
CJ, the question for me is, we've been watching you play throughout your entire career. Tonight, you know, the steals, the assists, the buckets, but the 9 rebounds. Just walk me through the mindset for you going out and collecting 9 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, you know, our coaches do a good job of, you know, obviously telling us what we do well, but also what we don't do well. And I feel like I get into trouble sometimes of not boxing out. And I made a concerted effort to box out my man and go get the 50-50 balls. That's something that's kind of hurt us. So we got to continue to, you know, box out and, you know, rebound.
You know, you won Game 6 here at home. Now you got a Game 7 to win a championship. What will you guys take from this game and try to apply to the next one?
You know, it sounds super cliche, but you got to flush this one. Obviously happy that we won, and we'll look at the film and see what we did well. But Game 7, especially on the road, is a whole different animal. And we've got to be locked in on both ends and just be super together because we're all we're going to have on the road.
Yeah.
TJ, your game is extremely unique. In an era where everybody's looking to shoot the 3 ball, you are living in that mid-range. Talk about what has led to that, the confidence that you have in that. Almost, we talk about your game kind of resembles Andre Miller a lot. So talk to us about your game and how effective it's been.
That's a compliment, so I appreciate it.
Andre Miller was cold. For the young guys that don't know who Andre Miller was,
very good player.
He was cold.
I think for me, it's coming down and just getting to my spots and knowing what I do well. Obviously, if they leave me open, I'm going to shoot it from 3, but just getting to my spots and shooting it and just getting my teammates involved is something that I've tried to do since I've been in the league and not step outside that box. I think that's when players get in trouble.
I want to take you back to the beginning of this game. Your season is on the line. You must win. And the team comes out. You miss your first 8 shots. At times, it looked like Tyrese was being a bit hesitant, giving up shots, passing the ball, and you find yourselves down early in the game, 10-2. Timeout. Then you go on a 24-7 run. What were you thinking in those early moments, and what changed?
I think all of us just said don't flinch. Obviously, the OKC was going to come out and throw a hellacious punch, and they did. But our group did a good job of hanging in there and kind of getting the lid off the rim. And we settled down. Our crowd got into it, and we just did what we did best.
Was there any thought that Tyrese wouldn't play the way he did?
I mean, you got to be careful with a calf injury like that, but I think we all knew he was going to play. The guy is a warrior, and we all got his back.
All right, so what's the distance you need between you and your dad to yell at him for not being taller or not marrying somebody that was taller?
I mean, I know he's standing right there, but
my man, come on in here. Come on in here, Pops.
unbelievable.
Who's more fired up
Come
right
on
now?
in here.
I love Isiah. I love him.
That's unbelievable.
Woo, good to see you, man.
Unreal. He finds a way to get in everywhere.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
DJ, I saw a picture in the
I'm going to tell you right now, he's a warrior. You're right. It doesn't matter how tall you are.
That's right.
That's your fault.
The heart of a champion.
Yes,
No
yes.
question. What do you think of his performance tonight?
Excellent. Just disappointing, missed 2 foul shots in the beginning. I kept saying, man, I wish he'd have made those 2 foul shots. But he recovered, and we won the game. So I can forget about the foul shots. Anything can happen in Game 7.
Always.
We're going to OKC to try to win a world championship. And my son's a part of it, and I can't believe that.
Pops, I got one question for you.
Yes, sir.
Why were you harder on him and softer on your daughter?
He says that, but
It's
that's
true.
a lie.
It's true because it's true.
My daughter was an undefeated state championship. He lost in the state championship. We lost 2 games. So undefeated. He didn't play as well in the state championship. He played great, but we didn't win it.
It's unbelievable.
The truth hurts.
Gotta love it.
Truth hurt. She was
Gotta love it,
undefeated
TJ.
state
Got to love it.
champion. And now she's with the Mercury, so
Hey.
I can't be more proud to say I have a son in the NBA and I have a daughter in the WNBA. This is a dream come true, and I'm going to OKC for my son to play in the championship game
wait till you
to
watch
win
this.
the world championship.
25 years from now.
Yes.
Does your dad have an agent?
I love this guy growing
No, he
up.
doesn't need an
was
agent.
so-
I would love to represent him.
I'm sure he would love that.
TJ, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for lending us your dad.
Thank
Great
you.
Hey,
performance
TJ, you
tonight.
can go. Get there.
That was one of the grittier performances we've seen. TJ, huge once again tonight. Man, what a performance. You're awesome, Mr. McConnell. Fantastic. We'll see you out there in OKC. And here's what went down early on. Of course, that right calf strain, we didn't know how effective or how much Tyrese Haliburton would be able to play. Early in this game, it didn't look good for Indiana. They missed their first 8 shots from the field. Haliburton missed his first 4 shots. It was a 10-2 lead. But here comes Indiana. Then Shea weaving his way to the basket. On the other end, Nembhard, who was struggling, B. Wood in game 5. Boy, did he bounce back tonight.
Yes, he did. Bounce back early on this game. Had 8 points in that big-time run. And we see TJ with the steal there. And Obi Toppin pays it off for 3.
How about Nembhard and Toppin combined to score 16 of the first 24 points for Indiana?
Well, I think Nembhard, we got to give him a lot of credit on both ends. You look at the job he did, guarding SGA, also 5 for 7, 3 of 5, 4 for 4. What a performance from Nembhard on both ends.
Neesmith had 10 points here, the jumper and the foul for him. And they're starting to pull away here. Again, down by 8 early. They respond with a 24-7 run, Isiah.
And this crowd, not only did it understand the moment, but it also got them prepared for the moment.
Hey!
And then,
That's a moment.
you know, that play there, I thought it really sealed the deal for the first half in terms of momentum.
Watch out, J-Dub. You
Get
just
up.
in time.
Get up.
Reggie and his son.
And then you got Reg and, I mean, come on. It don't get no better than that in Pacing Lounge.
So at the half, it was Oklahoma City down big, down 22. A 30-9 run by Indiana to end the half. Third quarter, nobody could score early on, but then late here in the third, look at the momentum. Just when we thought OKC Smitty might chip away, Ben Shepherd, you betcha! It's a 30-point lead going into the fourth.
Well, I mean, unbelievable. Like you said, no one can score at the beginning, but then the Pacers found a little bit of rhythm, but I thought they were locked in defensively to start the half.
Here's McConnell again. He
It's
was
unbelievable, B-Wood, his
sensational.
mid-range game.
Yeah, his mid-range game is cold.
12 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals for McConnell. Toppin had 20 points. Haliburton didn't have to play the fourth. Series ain't over. You're darn right about that. For the 20th time in NBA history, we will have a Game 7. Keep this in mind. It will be played in Oklahoma City. The home team in Game 7s in NBA final history, 15-4. And the Thunder have not lost consecutive games all postseasons. We're really getting a finals Game 7. Yeah, we are. You can shed a tear. It's so exciting.